Crouch. Bind. Set.
Joe presents the House of Rugby, together with Guinness.
Seatbelts on, ladies and gentlemen. Away we go with another episode of House of Rugby, brought to you by Joe, together with our very good friends at Guinness. And this week, my word, we are breaking new ground, because this week we are putting the rugby into the House of Rugby. Haskell and Tins are back.
Haskell looks so excited about
18th
that.
century bin men, as it is.
Do you know what I had to do? I actually had to look at some rugby and read about some rugby this week.
Well, you asked for everything that we were going to talk about just to be sent through to you in clipped format, rather than actually doing some work and thinking about the game and developing your thoughts and analysis and...
Yeah, time's money. I didn't have time to do it all. And there are some quite obscure topics and like relevant to some newspaper articles. I know.
Do you read the papers?
I look at a lot of newspaper apps. I don't read the
Daily
papers.
Mail Online.
Yeah, showbiz section.
Am I in it today?
This week?
Showbiz section. Actually, I'm in it tonight. And do you know what it was? They put a quote from Bella magazine where someone asked me, high profile stuff that I'm working with.
You're in Bella magazine.
Yeah. Saying,
What is that like? Is that a highlight?
Do they pay you to be in that, or do you pay to get some coverage?
No, I never pay to get any coverage.
Have you ever paid? Well, I didn't ask you this last week. Have you ever had a PR guru who's helped you get coverage?
No, never.
Okay.
I've never done any of that.
It shows.
You haven't.
I don't want it. I live a very quiet life. Very happy in the middle age.
I don't think so. I think now you've been doing this with me and Tinge, you're absolutely rating yourself. You're trying to get.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Influencer Room. Check that out.
We've changed you.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Thanks very much.
Not a great name. No, I was saying that within this article.
You're off.
Yeah, within this article, it says, it's about how you're going to have kids. And I said, listen, we would like to have them one day, but I'm not that keen. I'm a bit concerned they're not going to be the best looking, right? And Chloe, apparently, according to this journalist, went, how dare you? And I went, come on, Chloe, let's be honest, they're going to be 90% nose and ears, right? With big arms and blonde hair. They've just printed it in the Daily Mail, like as if it's a proper article.
Well, you said it, so it actually is.
Yeah, it is.
Will you stop dragging us off course?
Sorry.
We are talking about rugby, whether you damn well like it or not. This week, we're going to talk spying. We're going to talk Jack Nowell, who's going to be England's next number 7.
Yeah.
How's that make you feel?
Yeah, fine.
Eddie Jones, superheroes. You've picked a superhero 15. We've given up on the quiz.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to fucking do the thing.
Are you kidding me?
No, you do as well. Last week...
Yes. Have you got your superhero 15? It's the one thing we've asked you to do in 15 weeks of doing this show.
Do you know what? I knew there was something I was supposed to do on the car on the way up here. Fuck. So the producer, he gets so arsey. And he beat me in football last week, and he reckons
Don't worry, the professionals will probably pull the slack.
Again.
We're going to look back at the weekend's European Cup action as well. And you've done some work on that, Mike. You've got some great thoughts and analysis.
Not really.
At least you're bringing something.
He's actually made some notes. Well, it said 2 loaves of bread, some eggs, quail's eggs, sherry for the Queen. That's a bit weird. Why did you put that?
Beard is so ginger.
How dare you? I do need to trim up. I need to sort out the whole setup.
Yeah, you do. You've got a lot of work to do on that.
Especially before match day.
Yeah, I know.
Can't be going out like that.
Yeah, that is the thing, isn't it?
I ain't tight.
You can't. You know me,
It's the old Gav Henson. If you look good, you'll feel
play
good.
good.
Play good.
Yeah, I always get it tight.
Bit of fake and bake for the weekend?
No, I don't do that.
It gets to extremes.
No, I used to genuinely for a game.
You told the story about putting someone who was covered in tinsel. You look like one of the Spice Girls. Yeah, didn't you rub a whole load of moisturiser in it?
Oh yeah, that was because I was a bit of dry skin before.
Oh, that'll
No, I didn't. It had the tint in it. Completely derailed the Grand Slam game against Ireland. I used to always, post team run in Twickenham, go for a little sunbed, a Nando's, cinema, mainly when Doz was involved, and that was it. But those were heady days. And a haircut.
I had one of those situations where I played for the Barbars, 2013 or something, and I went and played golf with Rory at the Celtic Manor, and it was boiling, and I got
is that a Clang Rory?
Lawson.
Oh, okay. I thought it was McElroy. I thought you were sort of trading in your index.
And sober, and then Bolsh was playing, and I said, Bolsh, can I borrow some moisturiser? I've got nothing. And he's like, yeah. And just gave me this moisturiser. So I was hammering it for 2 days. I started looking at my fingers. I was like, why have I got lines?
Tangerine.
Literally, I was orange. And I was like, Bolsh, what the fuck is this?
How well did you play off the back of it?
I actually played all right.
There you go, you see.
Look good playing.
Actually, it was my 3rd game in 6 days. I was pretty tired.
Wow. They looked damn fine, though.
Yeah. They took me off after 60 because I was absolutely fuked.
It's actually worth mentioning this point. We had 1 or 2 people saying, you're a rugby podcast that doesn't talk about rugby. There are a lot of churches out there that cover a lot of rugby in great detail.
Yeah.
A lot of different denominations. We're something of a wild horse. We
Yeah.
hold on tight, see where it goes.
No, but do you know what it was? I saw that after last week's show. We got some amazing feedback. Thank you so much to everyone who gives feedback, who tweets, who shares the love. We really appreciate it, because obviously without you, we would be nobody.
And Haskell really needs it.
And I literally need all the help I can get. But actually, someone did first thing going, oh, look, great podcast, but you didn't talk about any rugby. I was like, there are literally 20 other podcasts you could be out there who are going to nose over everything.
Some of them are very good.
Some of them are very good, but they're like on, they focus very much on the rugby. Why would you want to be the same thing?
We like to bring multiple directions.
Different levels, like an onion, multi-layered.
We are a bit of a loose goose.
Parfait, I would have gone for.
A parfait. I tell you what, a Viennetta. Do you remember that? That was the highlight of an early 90s.
Little crunchy top.
Yeah,
We had that every
90s
Sunday lunch, Viennetta.
Yeah, because you're the kind of person that would go, oh, darling.
Yeah.
I don't know why you'd be like that. Oh, let's have a very special party. Bring the Viennetta. And then you had
Viennetta and Ferrero Rocher. We found out, yeah.
There you go.
and after eights.
Last week,
And then you went to matchmakers. I bet you were when Bailey's was the rigor.
I like the peppermint ones.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah,
Matchmaker.
Viennetta.
Good. So, I'm literally going to drag you back onto rugby
well,
every single
You
opportunity.
try and I will derail us at the best.
We're going to
of times.
start with England ahead of the Six Nations. Obviously begins next weekend. Owen Farrell had an operation on a thumb injury, which means that he's touch and go for the Ireland game. He is expected to travel to Portugal for the training camp ahead of the competition, but his status remains questionable. Have you spoken to him? Have you messaged Owen and said, how are you doing? Do you remember me?
No, I
Miss me?
haven't. I haven't.
Let him get on with it.
Yeah, I don't. You can occasionally see that. When you go on Instagram stories, you can see who's been watching. Owen is a very silent judger.
Is he?
Yeah, I know.
Does he watch but not like?
Yes, he doesn't.
Yes.
You know what? He's never given me a like. He's never given me a comment, but he watches all of it, and I can see him watching it, and he's just there silently creeping. And you ever post endorsement posts, and you can see him judging it. And do you know what? Some of the posts I can know, he just be like, meh. Have you seen fucking Haskell? What he's doing again? What a fucking dickhead! But I can see it, and I don't even know to know about it.
Right.
So
it's quite a good impression, actually.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of those whose Instagram feeds is just sort of corporate engaged. It's Jaguar Land Rover on a Monday, Beats on a Tuesday, Nike
and
on
you
a
know
Wednesday.
that someone's gone like that. Post it. I don't want to. I just want to go out kicking. I want to play it. Friday, let's go kick ball. He's like, you're going to fucking
He's
do
probably
it.
got someone to do it for him.
Yeah, and then they go like this. They go, you're going to do it. He's like, no. They go, parts of the cash up. Okay, well.
Ka-ching. I'm just trying to get it back onto the importance of Owen Farrell for England, really. I mean, how much do England need Farrell for Ireland away? Arguably the biggest game of their
for that game especially, they definitely need
Thank you so
him.
much for bringing some sense, some rugby
It's
intellect.
fun. They definitely do. I was thinking on the way down about what happens if who they play if he doesn't play, and where and how they will line the back line up. But you just can't.
What would you go with? Would you go forward?
Well, there's only forward in the squad, so unless he's had a chat with Sips or someone else who could play that role, or is he going to rely on who's going to cover? Slade,
Possibly.
could bring in
You could bring
Alex
in-
Good, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Maybe he should be in.
That'd be breaking news.
So I don't know what he'd do. Manu, if he's fit and healthy, it would be nice to see him out there. I think he'd be good for Ireland to play against Ireland.
Yeah.
But then, who do you put in as someone who can? You need someone who's going to boss it like Faz does, which they don't have.
So they miss him as a 10 and a leader and
Yeah.
a warrior and arguably as captain as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So
That'd be a huge blow.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is,
There's a chance.
it's a bit of a shambles. No, I think.
What do you think? I mean, Clive Woodward said this week that England need to prepare as if Farrell won't be.
Yeah,
there.
that's
of course you've got to
exactly
do
what
that.
they do. So why are you not bringing in another 10? I'm going to say something. I like Ollie Thorley.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing in that squad?
Right.
Not because of a player and he's young and he's up and coming. I'm not saying that he can't be there. But at the moment, with where they are in preparations for a Six Nations and the World Cup future, he's not there.
Is Eddie looking for his World Cup bolter though at this point?
Well, he is, but are you going to try? Are you going to do it now? Do you see him giving him? So, is that you? Is it?
Hask is waving to our podcast listeners.
Yeah, well, there is
Not
some
to
on
gr-
YouTube
not-
things. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Not great effect.
So, but if you think he said that he has picked this squad purely to play against Ireland, is there any way he would be playing Ollie Thorley against Ireland?
I would be very surprised with the
So
greatest
has he
respect to Ollie
wasted a spot in terms of just giving someone basically a competition winner to go and train with the squad for
Thorley. Yeah.
2 weeks?
It's weird because I applied for that competition and I didn't win. So.
I mean, I'm not saying that Ollie Thorley couldn't be there, but that's what your World Cup warm-up games are for. If Ollie Thorley stays playing, when he's ball in hand, I still think he's got a lot of development to do in terms of defensive positioning, high ball positioning. But obviously, you give him the ball in his hand, he can make things happen. But you're not going to put him against Ireland. If you go back and watch the Munster game where they just put little kicks in behind him and just pulled the Gloucester back three apart, you would never send him to the Aviva and expect him to play in that game.
Murray, yeah.
So I just feel that I don't understand that selection, or why you could take a Danny Cipriani, or you could take Good, or someone who actually, if Farrell doesn't come through, you can actually then turn to.
Yeah.
I never look at anyone outside. When you look at the squad gets announced.
Are you trying to make a serious point here?
Yeah. Did I go serious?
Just started with a smile and again.
Yeah, sorry. Now, whenever the squad's announced, I never look at it. I just look at which back row's been picked. Right. So I couldn't tell you who the rest of the people are. Is Lazowski in it?
No.
But what are they going to do if Owen's not ready?
He poor guy had a tough autumn and hasn't sort of been EPS since.
Oh. But so what would you do then? Well, Slade. It's be Slade then. It was be Slade.
Ford would have to play.
Yeah. And captain? Or would you go Marrow?
You can't give him. You can't give
Billy?
Ford captain.
So who is leading England out if Owen Farrell isn't there at the Aviva in 2 weeks' time?
That's a good question.
So Marrow will definitely play. So
Ben Youngs.
Marrow could do it. See,
Do you think Ben Youngs?
I wouldn't have Ben Youngs as captain. I'd have Marrow before that, or if Courtney play, who's going to play in second row with him? Courtney,
George Cruz,
or will Courtney play back row?
You can't have Snooze as captain because everyone will be asleep before the game starts.
Certainly relaxing in the team environment, but it would be.
Oh my God.
It's Billy. I mean, Billy has been vice captain.
Yeah, Big Bill.
Yeah.
George Ford has obviously did it in the autumn against
what
Japan.
What he's like around the squad in terms of having that. Because what you get with Faz is you'll get someone who's a bit more light-hearted like Billy around, but Faz just brings it back, doesn't he? In terms of, and he'll tell people what to do. Now, does Marrow do that? I don't know whether Marrow does that.
It would be George Ford or Marrow, realistically.
I think so. But I mean, maybe just
Billy.
looking at it, I mean, like, and I don't know. I wish I could give you the inside trap. I can't. Is more likely than not, then he's probably going to be fit, isn't he, Owen? Are we?
I think Eddie will be crossing his fingers.
But if he doesn't train till Wednesday, that's not helpful, is it?
No.
Next week.
But you know someone like Owen, how much research and work and analysis he'll do.
I'm not bothered about him. It's just everyone else around him and having him sit and run run in. That's more what I think. I'm not in any way doubting Owen Farrell's ability to just. I think he could just turn up on a Friday, do a team run, and go out and play. It's just then how he fits in. Can the other players
like a Simon Shaw?
Yeah, like a Shawsey.
What a ledge!
Shawsey was one of the best players and all round people ever, and I remember that literally he would play game on a Saturday, Sunday he's going to have to retire. Like his body is in dust. Like he's like terrible. He's going to go for scans. Monday, it's no good. Tuesday, he's in the physio room and they've managed to get his neck moving. It's a bit positive. Wednesday was the day off, so I don't know what he does. Thursday, it's looking like he might be all right. Friday he comes out for team run. Saturday plays calves up, and he's got to retire on Sunday. it just went round the entire time.
Flans and swans, 20 retirements a season.
Yeah, honestly, it was always like, right, Shawsey, oh my God, he's dust. And then he would be absolutely fine again by the following team run. It was the perfect scam.
What a man. I just want to pick up on that captaincy thing, because Eddie Jones has been saying for a long time, I'm trying to develop and I need leaders. And obviously, you're not there, Hask, which is a huge vacuum in that department. But people like Chris Robshaw are injured as well at the moment. Interesting, Woodward said he had a 6-point checklist for captains.
Oh, Woodward, man. He does my head in.
You're talking about a Knight of the Realm.
Sir Clive Woodward does my head in.
Yes.
Why? Because 1 week it's one thing, next minute it's another thing. It's like he was. This is why I'm upset. He was ready to throw Dylan Hartley under the bus, burn him, never speak to him again. Ever. I would never have him, never take him off after 60 minutes. Your captain has to stay on. Whoop, rewind, pretend that we never said that. And then he's like, well, we need Dylan Hartley back. And it doesn't matter that he comes on and off. It's like, mate, I don't know what you're talking about. How? When was the last time he actually coached an environment?
You don't like people who flip-flop around.
Yeah.
If you've got your beliefs, you stick with them, don't you? And some people might not have a great game. They might have a little bad patch where they don't play well, but they're not bad players.
Yeah, but also do it with a smile. It's deadly serious. The Sky stuff in the autumn, I was literally like...
He did put you in a pile about that, though, didn't he?
Oh, he took the piss out with Grandad's suit?
That was a hideous.
What are you talking about? It was an unbelievable tailored number.
There was a tent pole in it. We all had dinner under it.
I'm a bigger gentleman. I'm 120 kgs. What do you want? Listen, you wouldn't fit into one trouser leg, you skinny little fucking nose. You're like Mr. Muscle. Don't come at me.
We're definitely not advertising that tailor.
Yeah, don't come at me. The fact that Taylor's gone bust and he's had his hands removed and never allowed to tailor again.
It was good for you to let a blind man make a decision.
You've got equal opportunities. No, listen, I absolutely love Sir Clive Woodward. I think he's amazing. I cannot abide.
That's a very heavy caveat, though. That's a real sort of trying to rewind. You're trying to flip flop. On your point about flip flopping.
I say it to him all the time. He throws me in the bus all the time. But I just say I cannot abide the flip flopping thing. I can't. It's like nonsense. Just stick to what you believe in and say it. And if you
so
put
you're not allowed to
change
your mind.
No, you can, but you've got to say I'm changing my mind. You can't just gloss over the fact like you never say.
There has to be a reason for you changing your mind.
You can't go, we don't want Dylan Hartley, he's not the man, Jamie George's the man, and then go, oh, actually, sorry, Dylan's the man, the whole England squad aren't the same. I'd pick Danny all the time. Actually, we can't have Danny in there. It's just like, you can't, I know you're getting paid, and especially is it the Daily Mail he writes for?
Yes.
Well, I mean, literally, you say what you want. It's like, honestly, it's all about, money talks, and you can't go, actually, I've got a really considered answer. They want to go, right, I tell you what we should do. If I was coach, you're not coach, Clive. You haven't coached since 2005.
Yeah.
Four.
I don't know anything about the England squad, and I haven't been into it.
Did Lions
there 5?
Yeah. Fine.
After Southampton. Oh, no, did Southampton after, didn't
yeah. But just look at this logically. In 2005 was the last time he finished rugby. I have been in the England squad since the last Six Nations. I can't tell you anything about it.
Evidently.
Evidently. But how
you're hosting your own rugby podcast.
How can you talk about what you do as a coach in a different environment? It's a completely different game. 2005, the rugby played 2005 is completely different now. Yeah. And I just don't understand how you can be so vehement about it. I'm sorry to go on a rant, but it just grates me because...
I like it. It's a Haskell and rugby rant.
Yeah.
Who would have thought it?
I enjoy working with Sir Clive. I think he has some very salient points, and I get a return to his 6-point checklist for captains. Stop ranting.
Why is it always a checklist?
Point number 1. He must be an automatic selection in the team. He must have the respect of his team and the opposition. He captains his club on a regular basis. He can be trusted implicitly to deliver the right messages when the coach is not around. He must be able to think correctly under pressure and make the big calls. And he must work well with the referee. As somebody who's
teacup.
The old teacup.
Yeah. Here's my 75-point
captain
plan.
England, Mike, you've obviously got all 6 of those. But I mean, would you agree with that?
And Clive wasn't like coach.
No, I know. Was it with Andy Robinson? And then
it was Jono.
It was Jono, of course it was, yes.
Basically, I was just a stunt cock, so whenever the captains that were picked weren't fit, it was like, oh, who can do it? Oh, Tims can do it.
What did it mean to you to captain England as a serious aside?
It was amazing.
Was it genuinely, or was it just,
it was, because sort of if I was honest with myself, I'd wanted to do it for a while.
Had you said?
I'd been around the squad a while. Yeah, I'd said it to Robbo, Andy Robinson. But then he picked Jason Robinson, I think, and then he picked Johnny, and then they got injured, and then he picked Lewis, and he got injured. And then
Phil Vickery had a crack.
And then finally they were like, "Who's left?" But no, it was awesome. I'd wanted to do it for a while. I felt I was ready at a certain point.
Yeah.
And then
did it change the dynamic of you within the team and of your relationship with?
No. Cause I think as a captain, you look around your team and say for Gloucester when I'd captained Gloucester for a while, I'm not a massive shouter about what you've got to get on. I'm more about regurgitating points that we've been through during the week. So people like first calls and what we're after.
Not like clean the moat or lower the drawbridge. Here at the castle.
Yeah. I'm not going. Have you got your fucking tools? I've got someone like, I'd have someone like Andy Hazel do that. Will James. People who like
angry
that,
men.
like that side of it. So you play to what your strength is, and it was I think it was the same sort of England. You have people who you can rely on. Dylan was great for me in terms of because he loved talking.
Yeah.
So he'd fill most of the space, and then I'd just do the points that I wanted to get across. So it's understanding your team and what benefits them as well. But it was huge for me.
This isn't a Sir Clive Woodward bashing evening, right? But
I hope not.
It's not. I don't want to because he's the man's a legend. He's won the World Cup. He's I've got a lot more respect for him, as I keep saying.
Flip flop.
No. But again, him and some of the other pundits and journalists become obsessed with this captaincy thing, as if you don't pick the right captain, the wheels are going to fall off. Right, half of the decisions made on the field in terms of like kicking for goal and stuff like that are dictated by the coaches most of the time.
You just get the tee on,
you get some
the decision's made.
You see them going, run the fucking tee on. Like, what? Get the tee on. And you see the kicking coach run on. Right, they're making the decisions. There's ideally 14 other leaders on the field that have got the experience. If you listen to these people, you think we were like like trying to herd cats. We're all like, oh, if someone doesn't motivate us, we're all going to go, oh, what are we here for? And like, it's not how it works. You've got to have multiple leaders, and it doesn't matter who tosses the coin. It doesn't matter who does that, as long as you've got other stronger characters. And the beauty of this England squad is that there are a lot of guys now with a lot of experience. And while it is important to have a figurehead, that's why everyone got their knickers in their twist about the co-captains. Well, I think you should just have one captain. Fuck off. Have as many captains as you bloody want. It doesn't matter. Who's going to lead the team out? Who cares? It's about winning the game and making the right decisions on the field. And people get so bogged down by it. It's normally people who do not have a fucking clue about rugby who think, oh, the captain's the most important man on the field. It's not. You know, as long as you've got Billy speaking well, Marrow speaking well, George Ford making the right decisions, and when you come to kick to the corner, you look at the line out and go, Marrow, have you won the last 6 line-outs on the trot and the drive's gone really well? Well, yes, we're going to go for the corner, right? Has the forwards fucked up every single line-out? Okay, well, we're probably going to go for post. Has George missed every kick at goal? Yeah, we'll probably go for corner. Those are the decisions you're making. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to do it. Is there, do we have enough time left to take the kick? Should we go for a scrum? See if we can get a penalty try. These are decisions, but they're drilled into you. It's not like old school. It's not like that Willie John McBride, beating everyone off in the hotel and
the 99 call.
Yeah, and fight. It just doesn't work like that anymore. Sorry,
your language is particularly bad on this week's show.
Yeah,
you're particularly angry, and it's because we're talking about rugby.
Yeah, I'm that upset.
It's evident.
I have got a potty mouth.
I do think though, and I'm sure you'd agree that Farrell carries a huge gravitas.
So now we are putting importance on the captain.
No. But in conjunction with Dylan, I think they work really well together. Yeah. But I think if you're not going to have Dylan there, because again, this is my bugbear, because people. If you're in the inner circle and you see things, you understand it. But majority of the time, myself included at the moment, we are literally like creepers pressed up against a window, guessing what we're seeing, trying to interpret what we see. Having seen these boys operate firsthand, Dylan does an incredible job in terms of just how he sets standards, calls people out, has an old school kind of thing, making sure that everyone appreciates how lucky they are, what their roles are, setting the standards. Owen sets the standards in training, vocally speaks and directs about the way the game should be played, how we should do things. He's the emotional energy. He speaks very well, like his father speaks very well. That they're good motivators. And if you take Dylan out of the mix, then you're right. Owen, in terms of that clarity and that almost cutting, direct, motivating voice, yes, he will be a loss. Do I think it's the be all and the end? No, I don't, because I think there will be other boys that will do that, because as Tin says, when he spoke, he was giving salient points, like, lads, we've talked about the kick chase this week, we've talked about line speed, A and B defender, making sure we're watching 9, Danny Kerr's going to run if you're playing Harlequins, whatever those points might be. But then you've got Ben Youngs giving some salient points, you've got Billy V, quietly sitting in the corner, you've got Marrow getting ready, you know what I mean? They all bring that value, and I think that's the important thing to remember, because if you're basing it on one man, then you've lost before you started.
Wow.
Well, there you go. But
tight. You're slipstream this week.
Sorry.
Good.
What I'd say on that is where if you compared England and Ireland, let's say, So if you lost Sexton or you lost Murray, you could name other people, O'Mahony, Tad,
Carney.
You could go through.
Carney. So much experience.
Yeah. Whereas I think.
Yeah.
With England,
what a player!
I love Rory Best. What a man!
Whereas with England, I don't think you quite have that. You just go to the next
leadership
guy.
group. I mean, Eddie Jones has been talking about it for a long time. Just very quickly,
but then it never gives anyone enough time in the position to actually get comfortable in their own skin, and he does make a lot of changes. So if you look at the Ireland team, consistency is pretty high on their priority list. The selection
Although
process.
I bet you Joe Schmidt changes his team more than Eddie does.
Ooh. But not his squad.
Not his squad. Possibly. Not his squad. Yes,
there's no Ollie Thorley in there.
No.
Will you give that poor bloke a rest?
I'm not having a go. No, because what was the other? He gave in the last squad he announced. He gave
That's that bloke from Exeter.
Marcus Watson. Is
Yeah,
that in and out of it?
It was the tall
back
bloke
row,
from
was it?
Exeter, Johnny Tall Tower.
Johnny Hill.
Oh, Johnny Hill.
Yeah.
But you're not in a position where you can just hand out training squad. That you're trying to get somewhere. So you've got to get some consistency around, and that's what I'm trying to get. I'm not having a go Ollie Thorley because I love him. I played with him. Played with him when I was 30. I was 35. He was 17. He played better than me, and I actually could have been his dad. Jeepers.
And with your record round, Gloucester, you may as well be his dad. lads.
Just very quickly, automatic. Just reprising the 6 points. Automatic selection, respect of your teammates, captaining your club, trusted, the ability to think correctly under pressure, and working well with the ref. It's very hard to see why you've never been England captain.
I was about to say I don't tick any of those boxes.
No, you don't.
But I've actually got a forget.
Did you ever
Clive
dream of
Woodward.
captaining England?
Do you know what it was? Have you ever seen that movie End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger where there's a baby born with a little prophecy? There is something that would say that if I ever did become England captain, that Twickenham would open up, hell would come out, the whole place would burn down. All those old dudes in blazers would just go, they'd just bluster themselves.
They just combust.
End of days.
Yeah, it would be complete end of days. But I captained Wasps. I loved it, and I thought it brought the best out of me.
Yeah.
And actually, because no one's going to say it on this panel, I actually thought I was a very good captain.
Did
I
you?
enjoy. I think. I don't know. I always tried to pride myself on being a leader, whether I'm given the leadership role, because again, I don't want to make. We talked about it when we were going to get. Hopefully, we'll get Sippy on here one day.
Yeah.
But talking about, the one thing everyone goes in an interview is, James, you're a bit of an outgoing dick, but it turns out you're actually not a dick. You're quite hardworking. It's like. That's my point. Whenever I'm actually in the training, and Tim's, is seeing it firsthand. I'm very focused. Just because as soon as I step off the field, I'm lads, or saying whatever I think, or posing something stupid on social media. I have that ability, but I think for a lot of people, you need that consistent person that kind of steps back from that. You can't, it's difficult to have a risque person.
I'd like to talk to Cyprian, but actually, it'd be great to get him on, and
I know.
we should ban a whole series of words like comeback and fallout and bad boy. And
I agree.
We'll talk about the things that he is enjoying at the moment. I want to ask you about Jack Nowell.
Yeah.
Actually, just very quickly, you're back this weekend.
Yeah, I am.
Throwing your cap back into the ring.
Yeah. With the rest of my hair in it.
To see you, Jimmy Wake.
He's playing against a lot of 18-year-olds this weekend.
Exactly.
Or who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows?
Who they can pull anyone out.
In your absence, Eddie Jones is turning to Jack Nowell and potentially thinking of him as a 7. Your thoughts?
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Genuinely?
Yes.
Because
Because he's never going to learn how to scrummage, how to do the line-outs, all the rucking and proper mauling. And it's not something that's new. He seems to think that he's claiming that he's changed. There's been loads of backs that have been classed as an extra forward. I was one. But there's been loads of them.
Did you ever play up? Did you ever play?
He's just quite slow. That's why.
Yeah, I know you played, but before that, but that was before you went professional. Did you ever play back row in a?
I stepped in.
Gloucester game. Okay, better than Johnny May did when he.
No, actually, one time I stepped into Gloucester at number 8, and I know if Huey Edmonds listens to this, it's the funniest thing he ever did, and he tweeted me on my birthday, and I went to sort of slingshot the second rows in, and I pushed their asses together, and literally my neck just went.
Is that on? Can we get a clip of that?
Yeah, you can probably find a clip of that.
Actually,
and I had to go off because my neck was.
You're kidding me!
Shut up. You know that bloke who did you at that amateur game you were talking about? He tweeted, I see him.
He said, yeah, it was me.
Yeah.
You were playing. When were you playing that? Were you playing? Do you play centre for Minch, or have you been trucked up into the forwards?
I have played forwards. I've played back row. I've played 10. I've played 12. Played 15.
That's not dummies and go at 10, isn't there, from you?
Literally, the biggest truck up 10 ever. All the wingers are like that, smoking a cigar. I'm not going to get it, am I?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think you do? You know.
I think two things I'm going to say here. I think
I want my shirt back.
Yeah. Eddie, call me. No, I think firstly he is. It's the old magician thing of. Let me confuse you with what I'm talking about with my right hand while I'm doing stuff with my left hand. He's just gone, right, I'm going to throw this nonsense out here because everybody is going to go mad about it. We're going to quietly go to Portugal, get on with our preparation. That it's not going to focus on any of the lads what's going on, and they'll just be bothering themselves about that. So I think that's the first thing that's gone on. I think the second thing is actually when he talks about the other forwards, I was talking at Oxford University last night.
clang.
just lecturing, Professor Haskell.
They're giving you an honorary degree.
They should do, actually. I will accept a doctorate in history, and I will make you call me doctor. Basically, he talks about the forward, but I think what it is for me, it actually shows that it's about picking a balance of a team. So a lot of rugby fans and people are obsessed with what someone should look like in that position and what they should do. And I think him talking about having 9 forwards, if you're playing against a team where you
never get the numbers right now, I know.
No, but if you
stick them all in like Wales.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if you're playing against a team that are consistently, it's all about the gain line, and you've only got wingers who are speedsters and everything else like that, you could essentially put a forward there, so you've got an extra ball carrier, do you know what I mean, who can then try to break it. So I think there is some actual intelligence to it in talking about the way that you can get the balance of a team right. That's more important, that's a priority over. So if you have to play with 9 forwards to break a game line, that's quite clever. If you needed to play a game where it was all about attacking play, you could put Jack Nowell on the flank, where you would lose it at the breakdown, but then you would have an extra carrier and an extra space to finish, I think. I'm not saying he's not going to ever do it, because it's just spice. He's just pulled a grenade out and watched all you Muppets run around going, "Oh my God, what's Eddie said?" While he's going, "Don't worry about them, lads."
Can't wait for Jack Nowell to start at open side for England in Dublin. The 7 shirt.
Well, even if he does, but
But no, he won't, because he's sending 9 forward, so you can't have 9 in a scrum, can you?
No, but what he means is put one on the wing.
Yeah, I know. What he's saying is basically someone who can affect the breakdown, and as I said, it's been done before,
Yeah.
but you've had backs who are plenty good enough at, Banners is pretty good at it, getting over ball and stealing
Well, he was
ball.
a second row, wasn't he?
Yeah,
before?
so he's done both. So I think it's nothing new. I think it's a lot of smoke and mirrors, and basically let's talk about this rather than talk about the fact that we're going to go to a place where we've only won twice in the last 8 visits, and actually talk genuine rugby stuff. He doesn't want to do that.
No, he's very I always sit back and just watch how bogged down everyone gets with this stuff, and how many people run around with it, and how much they care about it. And you just got to realise that there's, Eddie never says or does anything that he doesn't plan or consider.
He's very clever. He's
a very clever man. Ultimately knows how to play things. And as Tim said, there is an argument within what he's trying to say, that sometimes when you're playing against particular opposition, the balance of the team far outweighs position-specific skill sets.
So with that in mind, he's gone after Johnny Sexton again. Do you remember he did a couple of years ago, he was talking about Johnny and the concussion problems he's had. He went after Patchell last year when Patchell stepped in.
It's a great idea to go after Johnny Sexton, isn't it?
Well,
yeah, because he seems to really lets people get under his skin, and when he gets riled, he really plays bad.
But Eddie said this time, he said he's got a bat phone to the referee.
Oh, do you know what I love about that
that's part of the reason why they're successful.
How does Eddie know what a bat phone is?
Yeah.
Out of all that article, out of all that, forget what he said about Sexton, forget that. What the most important thing is, how does Eddie Jones know what a bat phone is?
Batman would have been enormous when Eddie Jones was growing up. What was he called? Adam?
No. You missed the point, mate. You literally don't.
He's talking about, does Eddie's wife know about his bat phone?
Lads,
I see.
Potentially bat phone. I know somebody, and Tins knows somebody, that used to have a bat phone in the drywall of his house. That used to just, for extracurricular activities.
Like a SIM card.
No, mate. Well, I mean, listen, you could do that.
Educate me in your.
No, I don't. Listen, Chloe, I don't have a bat phone. But the weird thing is that I've got a few mobile phones lying around. She's like, when we first go out, she went, "There's a few red flags, James." And I was like, "What do you mean? We've got 4 laptops, 3 iPads, 17 phones." I'm like, "Well,"
she started breaking them.
Yeah. So no, what he's implying is the bat phone is a little sly little number that you have if you're doing extracurricular bits. It's
he's doing Johnny Sexton twice.
But more importantly, what does Eddie Jones know about bat phones? Where's he picked that from up? Right. That's the crux. That's what the headline should be.
He's not stupid.
But I like how you thought he had a black bat phone though, like in the cave with Alfred, because then he does go on. To be fair to you, he does go on.
Have you not seen his utility belt?
He does go on and say about the red phone.
Yes.
Was he implying Johnny? He's got a picture of Nigel Owens' head, which he just flips up, and presses a button inside. Nigel, all right, boy, how are you?
Hey, mate. We're hopefully going to have Nigel on at some point.
I hope so too.
I had a really good question to ask, and I can't remember what it was.
Don't bother, mate.
Your chat's knocked me off course. Actually, producer Science just said there's so much good rugby content this week that if you keep it up, you can have a prize.
Oh, thank you.
You can have a
Why does Simon talk to me like I'm about 5 years old at all times?
Because he's late for everything and you don't get any
switches.
Yeah.
You're like a small child. If you give you something, you'll go, "Oh, I'll do more questions and answers."
If people laugh, I'll just keep talking.
You're watching the House of Rugby on Joe, together with Guinness.
Still to come, Haskell's going to take on this week's Perfect Paul. and we're going to reflect on the final group games in the European Cup as well. But I want to pick up on Eddie Jones. He's just so much good material around him.
Yeah.
He's admitted in the past that he's spied on opponents to try and get the upper hand. And obviously this was brought to light off the back of the Marcelo Bielsa. Is that right?
Yeah.
Bielsa, who is the coach at Leeds, has been spying on his opponents. Eddie
Can you
Jones
call it
spy
spying when he openly just tells you that he's done it?
Reconnaissance.
He just
perhaps.
basically went and watched training.
Do you remember every team used to do it?
Yeah.
Every team would used to do it.
Whenever you have an open media day, you just wander in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those media days are useless. Like,
Well,
you
yeah,
guys
we-
wander
Yeah, but
around.
that's the point he's making out is that what you used to go to have these games and you would see them disappear on a Friday. Say you were playing a team, you were preparing. Say we're preparing for Ireland this week. They'd all disappear off on a Friday night before the game and go and watch, or whatever, or send someone down to watch the team you were playing the following week.
Yeah.
And record it or whatever it was.
if you're- Bro, Talek
if you
went to the England South Africa game.
I know for the fact that in the past that if people do team runs always at the stadium, they always record them because you're in your stadium. So if they're playing away, you can put a camera wherever you want in Twickenham and you can just record it. Try and get their line-out calls. Why would you not do it?
But wasn't it Steve Borthwick once cracked the line-out calls like with he was something about that too? Was it 2000 the Grand Slam? Or something like he went and sat down next to where Ireland was throwing the ball in.
Yes, he did. You're
within about
absolutely
5
right.
minutes, he went boop, boop, doop, doop, and
the outside came out.
He is literally a code-breaker.
Yeah, he just completely deciphered all the lineouts.
It's like the miracle match, Gloucester versus Munster, where the Gloucester coach left the line-out calls in the,
Yeah, so that
in
was
the back
Dean
of a
Ryan.
taxi.
No, it was on a photo. Oh, yes, that's right. He said it was on the photo. Yeah,
No,
you're absolutely right. So it was Dean who said he left it in the back of a taxi.
The cabbie's driven it straight.
No. What happened was apparently is that he gave it to the receptionist and said, "Can you photocopy this for me?" And she ran off an extra copy and had it delivered to the stadium. Is apparently the true one.
Well, I mean, all that stuff happened, but I think it's fair to say, I've been on tours with England where they've obviously had like bugging detection stuff and everything else, and like tried to,
Clive was obsessed. He was
With spying
obsessed.
or not being spied
Not
on?
being spied on.
Okay, to the extent that...
Well, when he started building...
he slept in a sleeping bag with camouflage on.
10-foot fences around every training pitch we went on, and then security on the outside of those fences to catch anyone who looked like they might be trying to peer in. Bug scan every changing room, every hotel. It was quite obsessive.
But
Have you ever benefited from...
No.
Have you ever been given the answers to the exam questions, so to speak?
No, never.
Would you say if you had?
Yeah, 100%.
Would you?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, you've obviously not seen me play because there's been no deciphering.
Don't even know the laws you're meant to be playing under.
Yeah. I thought they were called rules as well, so that was the first mistake. No, but I mean, but the beauty of it now is that I could call up the analyst at Saints or England.
Analyst or
analyst? Yeah, analyst.
That's one
and
up.
say to
That's
him,
one up from
Yeah,
the
exactly.
analyst.
It's a promotion.
Yeah. And ask him, and he could send me 6 hours of Peter O'Mahony's clips. And I could see everything I wanted about an individual player. I get it from 5 different angles. He's going to get it from 5 different angles on Saturday. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't. It's irrelevant now.
I think it is far less effective now.
But I can't understand if you bugged what you'd hear.
There was that...
You'd only get line-out call. That's the only thing you can
There was the
really get.
Bledisloe Cup game 2 years ago where the All Blacks found a listening device in one of the chairs in the team room, didn't they?
Yeah, but didn't they just put that in there?
And then they broke the story on the morning of the game.
Yeah, of course they did.
Put the Aussies in
and poor
scurrying
Michael
tactics.
Check is getting heat for it. I just think, I mean, the line-out call thing, but even then, it's hard. You got to. It's quite a lot to remember because line-out calls aren't what they used to be, like pink.
Cat dog bus.
Yeah. There's a
used
little
to
bit
play
more to it
under.
than that. So you'd have to be pretty on it and spend a lot of time learning it. And obviously remember that almost if the team don't kick out, like when Wass used to play, we never used to kick the ball out because we had a toilet line out.
Trevor Leota hit 1 in 24 in the Premiership final.
Yeah, but
Whatever it
in
was.
the Premiership final, we just threw to the front and Owen Redding scored. So he didn't even need it. I was gutted with Leicester. They spent all week learning everything, ready to play, and we just dismantled it in 2 seconds because we didn't play by the rules.
No, you were quite... You very nearly scored in that game.
I know,
didn't
an
you?
80-metre run.
That was
And
the European Cup
Yeah,
final,
and that
not Premiership
really, really upsets me.
To this day?
Yeah.
In your dreams, do you make it?
Yeah, every time. And I fell 5 metres short and I
Did you blame
stopped.
Margot for that?
I blame myself for looking like that. Oh my God, I'm running out of gas. I was really, really, really annoyed about that. There's a few things in my career that I'm really annoyed about, and that's one of them.
Hold that thought. I want to go. We'll pick up on that another time. Because that was Danny Cipriani played 15 that day, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
And played and clobbered Tuilagi.
Yeah, that's why when he came, we told you about that on the show when he came up with Cumberland throw, when Sean Edwards was like, Danny,
yes,
mate,
you're right.
listen, right, don't worry about tackling. Right, when Tuilagi gets ball, just do Cumberland throw on him. And Danny was like, what? And they spent all time like practicing, and
Cumberland
Danny,
throw.
and he just Cumberland throwed him. Just lobbed him on the floor.
Good. Right, European Champions Cup reflections. Exeter. I'm going to just come straight to Mike because have you watched any of it?
Yeah, I knew it was a tough game. Very physical, apparently.
You've been reading Mail Online. How close? How big of a missed opportunity?
Look, I think they win that game if they didn't have to win by 7.
Yeah.
That line out will haunt them. But fair play to Munster, throw 2 up there because if
That's a hell of a gamble.
if they caught that and set up a drive, they'd be buggered. But I think they would have won that game if they weren't pushing for that extra point. I still think they should have taken points when they had them offer. I know that that's not the Exeter way, but England teams are getting a bit of a bashing about not being in the quarters now, and I think you still take points when easy points are on offer.
Yeah.
I know they have great success off line out drives and 5 yards out, but in playoff games where you need to win, you've got to.
Why have they not flipped their Premiership form into Europe? Because it's a sprint, not a marathon.
I just think they messed up those first 2 games, didn't they?
And then it's gone.
And then unfortunately they were.
And
always
Munster
chasing.
wear red, so that's fixed probably on that thing. Haven't we covered that now? That's all the detail I've got for you.
Pearls of
And
wisdom.
Exeter wore blue, and Don Armand scored a try.
I mean, yeah.
So that's all we need to probably talk about that, do we?
Moving on.
Yeah, probably.
Tyke Byrne, or you'd probably call him Tad.
Yeah,
Tyke
obviously a
Byrne,
big loss.
Unbelievable performance. But,
Yeah.
I mean, how big a hole does that leave?
He was very good at the breakdown, wasn't he? Stole a lot of ball because there was a thing about Exeter. Obviously, they like to retain the ball in the Premiership a lot and go through multiple phases. But actually, when they come to Europe, they found the breakdown more challenging. And Tag Byrne got a lot of turnovers, and that's what unravelled them.
He played
Lifted from Planet Rugby.
Yeah, he played amazingly well, and he is a big hole. But then when you look at their backups, Toner, they've got Ryan, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've got
Henderson's out.
Henderson's
now.
out as
Very
well.
good man, Henderson as well.
Good man.
Very good man.
Speaks at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
You couldn't. Honestly, for the first week of that line, so I could not understand what he was doing. I'm not going to like this bloke. Cannot understand one word he says. And ultimately, got on with him very well.
Did you?
Spent a lot of time with him and Rory Best in the final weeks.
Is that because he can understand you? Or?
Yes.
How dare you? Everybody understands the Queen's English, my friend.
He's a huge, obviously, loss for Ireland. Saracens, James, your
Yes.
thoughts on how well they're performing in Europe right now, please?
I think they're ones to challenge Leinster, actually. I thought it was great to see Maro Itoje back on fantastic form, so Eddie will be very buoyed by that. Billy V getting a try off the back of the scrum. He had a great game too, and that was really positive. And I think probably Saracens are right up there. And actually, they've got some similar points difference that they got when they actually won it. So they've done very well. So they're on course to really challenge, which is, I think, a really good thing.
I think the messages this week will be, please don't talk rugby, just go back to talking nonsense again.
No, listen, it's the same way as when your missus asks you to do the washing up. You do it just bad enough.
So bad that you never get asked to do it again.
It's like this. I've just gave some... That is what these people wanted. That was genuine, actual rugby fact.
Okay.
Facts.
Could you elaborate on that and put any more detail on it?
Could you ever put any more detail on that? I think Sarries are... You talk about Exeter not being able to transfer their league form to Champions Cup. I think all the lessons that Saracens have learned when they got to finals and lost, I think now they're just that perfect sort of knockout team. They very rarely get rattled. They don't, their ability, whatever the occasion, to deliver a performance is always there, and that's one of the things that you sort of most admire about them. And they continue to do that.
Looking formidable. Finally, Cockers at Edinburgh.
Has he done so well at Edinburgh? People are obviously talking about maybe him taking over as England coach. Will that happen? Probably not.
Good. Textbook.
Yeah, look, he's done a fantastic job. You look at where Leicester are now, and we talked about this before. I can't remember what episode it was, but everyone seemed to throw stones at Cox, and now he's at Cox.
That's a different show.
What's the Castro Giovanni? Lecoq, he used to call him. That was his thing. Anyway.
I once did an interview with Castro for Sky. I was about 17 at the time. And I said, "What's your nickname?" And he said, live on it, "The Fat Bastard," which I thought was a nice way.
Do you know the best thing about Castro Giovanni is that
he sodded off and played with Ibrahimovic.
He's a legend of a man, but if you're going to lie about having a week off, do not go on the piss with Ibrahimovic in Vegas.
Yeah. Or do. If you're going to go out, go out in a hell of a blaze of glory.
But then just call up and say, listen, I've decided, because you're going to get caught.
But he'll have said that because he's got an alter ego that he calls, so Giovanni is his alter ego, which is an absolute nightmare to deal with. Right. On the Barbarians.
I've heard stories about Giovanni.
Wowzers.
Really?
Yeah, Giovanni was on the tour and he wasn't really on the tour. He stumbled in at like 8 o'clock every morning.
Who else do you know has got alternate personalities when it comes? I remember James Brooke used to turn to a bloke called Hank, Martin Purdy.
There's been a few Hanks though, hasn't
there?
Where they just go absolutely...
But it's mad, they literally change to different people.
Really?
Do you have one? I can imagine you've got one.
I had one called Tom Dollar.
Oh my God.
I don't know where it came from. I don't know what happened to him. He was
feel more that your alter ego is like a space cowboy or something.
I am Tom Dollar.
I bet Tom Dollar used to wear a white linen suit and a Panama hat.
I think he dressed quite well, actually, yeah.
But in your world, that is quite dressing quite well.
That's standard uniform. Quite Monday night in. Cockers for England, ever? Yes or no?
You can't say no. If he keeps doing what he's doing and they progress and they get better, why can't he? Why? I don't understand why he can't.
But interestingly enough, it's not just the results that have gone this way, it's that people are singing his praises within the team.
Yeah.
So that
he delivers with Leicester, got Toulon to the final.
And I think if you look at how Edinburgh defended as well and how they played for each other as a team on the weekend, I think it's always a sign of you like your coach if you put your body on the line.
Well done, Richard. Well done, Edinburgh. Producer Si is saying you always do, but you've spoken so well, you can have a prize.
Oh, thank you.
Bring in the prize. Here we go. Gentlemen. A pint of Guinness.
Is it just in time, Joe?
Joe, Mike, Joe. James, Joe. Joe's off. Thank you very much.
Joe's mic'd up. Is he joining the show?
Yeah, he's going to join the show.
I'm joining the show.
How are you? Nice to meet you, mate. You all right?
I'm all right. How are you?
Thank you very much indeed. You're having one as well.
How's it going?
James, have you met Joe before?
No, I haven't met Joe. How are you?
Mike, have you met Joe before?
I haven't met Joe before.
Joe's going to have a seat and join us for a minute. Because we had quite a lot of... welcome along. He's won a competition to be here today. We're going to pick up though because we're talking about having pints with teammates and pints with opponents and things like that. And we had a lot of feedback, Tins, off the back of the show last week, where you were talking about the bloke who gave you a proper going over when you were playing for Minch.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would like to know.
I didn't even recognise him.
You didn't, did you?
Is that the fucking guy that... Wait, let's do him now.
Just as classic.
Wait, is that the one from...
I was going to say...
With the dog...
What would you say to him now?
I'd say...
When did the penny drop?
I said he's put on a bit of timber. No, he wears a scrum hat.
Yeah.
You should have come in the scrum hat.
It's got ripped off my head a long time ago.
Did it?
So.
Joe, you're very welcome on the show. We're about rebuilding bridges and making friends. So just to put some context on this.
Because he's moved clubs now.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, so where are you playing for now?
Nels and Batwell now.
Nels and Batwell.
Are you going to sing this one? Oh, no, you're playing at the weekend.
Yeah, I know.
You can sip it.
Yeah.
So just to recap, if you didn't listen last week, you told a very good story and paraphrase it. Playing for Minch.
Basically, playing for Minch. Normally people always go, are there any nosers out there who just try and do you over?
Smash you about.
Yeah. And I said no, apart from this one guy who elbow dropped me straight off the bat, then just kept reminding me that I thought I played for England, you're pretty shit. I thought you won a World Cup.
I like the fact you put your head in your hands.
Oh, God.
It's average chat.
Yeah.
And for the first time in my rugby life, I completely lost my shit. And I started chasing him around the field, but didn't actually ever get to
get into
sink my teeth into him.
Then you went home, and Zara said, why are you behaving like such a baby?
Yeah, basically. And
go back and have a drink.
And then I went to go back and have a drink. They'd already shot off. And then I retold the story on TalkSport the next day. And then he tweeted me going, I knew I had you.
Oh, wait, in your pocket
so he's
as well.
He's double mugged me.
He's double mugged you. In the House of Rugby, we like to have the post-match pint. It comes late. But I think you two should have a little cheers. You've got a bit of
Well
explaining
played,
to do,
sir.
actually. Well
Thank you.
played.
Well played, sir.
Where are you now playing, Joe?
Nels in Batwell now. It
Right.
was for Ashley Down Old Boys at the time. That was the game.
Yes,
Right.
That was the game.
And do you want to explain yourself? Apologise.
So have you gone up the
Absolutely
league?
not. I have
Have
no
you got-
apologies.
I like that.
No
Have
apologies.
you
to
gone
my
up the
guns.
league? Or?
I have a few, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a few, yeah.
Can I just point something out? Honestly, apart from when you
And he's-
realised who it
so
was, I
he's
was
a
like,
ja-
who the fuck is this guy? And why have we got a competition winner? What the hell's going on? Why is
This is my show.
was
Why do I know what's happening?
And the best one was that you tell him before he got a seat, and I was like, where's Murray? Like, he can't just make himself at home. Like, what's going on? But fair play, mate. You can stay.
Thanks very
Well,
much,
how-
yeah.
On a scale
You
of
should really
1
see
to
if it's
rattled, was his head, did it just slip straight off?
Oh, it's so far up his ass. It's unbelievable.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you what, I
It
thought
was
this would be
so bad.
apologies and hard because I think
Yeah.
this could yet
No,
that's fine. Kick on.
no, there's no need for apologies. It was a good fair game. The rest saw nothing wrong with what was happening.
Did you target him from the start?
Obviously, yeah, definitely.
Wait, did you see a weakness with him? Psychologically, he wasn't ready for what you had to bring. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far.
Here, we get that bloke. He thinks he's all that.
Yeah,
and he
I think-
thinks
yeah.
he's royal family. Fuck him.
Literally, it almost led to me losing my shit with my own teammates. So, because
Right.
these guys, you were top of the table at the
We
time.
were at the
weren't
time,
you?
I think, we were pushing.
and we
pushing
were
up,
like
yeah.
third bottom, and they were just doing like a scrum move, and they'd just do hands and they'd score on the edge. I was literally,
Yeah.
I was actually almost getting turned around to my own guys, going, "What the fuck
can
are
I imagine-
you guys doing?
Can you imagine him going,
Hands have just scored on the edge. Do we not even? Where's the fullback?"
Wait, I imagine him just popping up out of the scrum going, here, Tindall, you think you're all that, mate? You're shit, we scored again, you dickhead.
That's a really good accent.
Thanks,
as well.
mate, I tried.
That's absolutely fine.
You've gone back to playing seven. You're in the back row again now.
I'm in the back row now,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So there you go, Jack Nowell.
There you
Yeah.
are, absolutely.
I like the beard, though. You've done well. Have you trimmed that up for tonight?
Yeah, especially.
So how did this come about, out of interest? Producer Si, one of your mates left a message on the YouTube thing.
Yeah, yeah. I
On the
think so.
show.
Yeah. And then they rang
And said,
about rang Nels in Batwell's club secretary and got in contact. I thought it was
They went
wonder,
through all the
for once.
official channels. At
yeah,
least.
exactly.
Yeah, it was good.
So what league are Nils in? Like,
Somerset Prem, sitting second in the league there at the minute.
You
So
sort of look a bit related, don't you think, as well?
They do actually, kind of literal brothers.
Yeah.
it's just the hair.
actually, I think you've got more. You've got more up there than
Just
I have.
about.
If you let it grow out,
Just about.
But
I can't say anything.
But you-
He's like my idol now.
But are you one of these people, because there's lots of people in rugby who once they cross the whitewash become like really like chatty, in your face nightmares, but then off the field they're fine. Like I remember
I did sense that was one of his key attributes.
Chat
Not saying
was at the
anything
top.
about his
If you're-
rugby,
If you're
but-
playing top trumps,
Yeah.
it was chat at the top.
That's what I've got.
It was.
Yeah. What do you do day to day? What's your? Do
Pipe fitter welder by trade.
Are you?
That's all.
you want to give a little plug for who you're?
No, not really. No,
No, go,
They don't pay me
good
enough.
man.
No, just think
They
about
don't
who
pay
you're-
me enough for that.
They
no.
don't pay you enough for that. So pipe fit about. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it sort of all comes together quite nicely, really.
No, it was a good experience to play. It was. But
Did he show any magic of the old?
Actually, I don't think
quick
I did.
tackle and jackal was really sharp. The tackle and jackal speed was still there, still at it.
And
But
afterwards,
Then it's not every day you see like a England player walking across the car park when you're ready to
Literally.
rock up to a
Does he
Gloucester
turn
3
up in
game.
England's
I was like,
stash? Does he carry
head
the RFU
to-
bag?
yeah.
Head to toe,
Yeah,
full
full
gears?
kit wanker. Yeah,
Oh,
really.
Wowzers.
Now you're just lying.
Did he?
He's got you on the run.
I'm
No,
going to
he's good.
fucking.
You
Don't
can check
say
your
that.
car home actually, so you can.
Watch it just went off air and you just heard this go, listen, mate, you're going to come on the fucking show making a few jokes like that. Or listen, I didn't fucking say anything. All kicks up. Tindall, you're a mug, mate. I've always fucking said it. Oh,
You're
I'd
very
love that.
welcome. Joe, you're very welcome to stay to the end of the show. You can contribute. Haskell needs all the
Yeah,
help
he
he can
does.
get.
Swallow that, Paul.
Were you listening to the other part? Were you listening earlier, or did you listen to any of it?
I've been there about 10 minutes.
Oh,
Oh,
right,
did
okay.
you? Because you got to
Yeah.
mention earlier, actually. You wanted
I
to
saw
play.
that, yeah.
You wanted to have a
I saw
game
that,
for
yeah.
Minch.
Yeah.
You get a game for anyone at the moment, but
Yeah.
Minch has had some good players. Bolsh has played for Minch. Flats has played for Minch. Dave Flatman.
yeah.
I'll play for Minch.
Do you know who's the bit?
Don't know where it is,
you know Wiggy?
Yeah.
Natalie Pinkham's husband.
Yeah.
He has been the biggest Norse I've ever had play for Minch.
Really?
Literally running around hitting
He played for
60
London
yards.
Welsh, didn't he?
Yeah. And we had this game for my birthday.
He's helping with the influence room, actually. Good man to know.
Yeah. And he literally ran around picking on all the young kids, and yeah, it was.
But
such a
surely when you
keynote.
play it like that, you go back and play. It's obviously fun. Like if you're going to get a bit of heat, I think that'd be quite. And obviously, I know if your head comes off and you get like the late shot, you got to go. Like because when you're naturally like in game mode when you're aggressive, when I always hit myself in the face before a game because but people pull that face that you're pulling now.
Do you really do that?
Yeah, because normally if you go in cold into a tackle, or you don't do something, you're half going into a game, you get hit, you're like, oh, it really hurts. Like, imagine him dropping an elbow in my first 5 minutes and I wasn't ready for it and I thought, I'm going to have a friendly game. And he goes, Haskell, you're shit, mate. I'd be like that. I'd be like, right, okay, I'm going to do time for that guy. So so that's why I do it, so I'm ready.
Yeah.
But like, imagine it'd be quite fun. But I'm not. I don't chat on the field. I don't say anything. I just do my job. So
Except for asking the referees what the laws are and what they want to see.
oh, I hate that. I honestly, the whole point is you've got to ask the referee what picture they want to see.
What is it I'm meant to be doing?
No, I didn't. What
I don't know. I am the referee.
And I said, I'm not the referee, but I could do a better job, pal. But we didn't say that because it was rude. But he did me on TV, and he
the
will get
referees
it.
on side.
And he will get it. Like Alan Partridge, I will have the last laugh. Romain Poit, or is it Garces? Whichever one of you, you're going to get it at some point.
To either of them.
Time
for the perfect pour.
Sorry, no, it's not time for fucking perfect pour.
Right.
Tell Simon to wait. I haven't finished speaking.
Simon, wait.
We were honestly saying that there's a lot of people who do go over and then don't say anything. So you were going to say, are you Chirpsville always, or do you turn into a different demeanour on the field?
Yeah, I'm a bit different on the pitch than I am off the pitch.
Right.
Are you an angry man in life?
Oh,
in
I'm an
general?
angry man in life.
You're an
general,
angry man.
No, on the pitch, no, I can be a bit
when he's got
chirpy.
a pipe in his hand.
Yes, exactly.
No, I am a bit chirpy on the pitch, if I'm honest.
Are you?
Yeah, I can't really.
Fucking
I can't
right you
really
are.
help myself.
There's something
Can't really
relevant-
help myself.
Are you one of those players that irritates your own teammates as much as you irritate
I
the
try not
opposition?
to. I reckon I do. Yeah, I can imagine.
You know, Borthas talked up a lot when
Yes,
he
I
was on the field.
know.
Oh, Borthas was ridiculous.
Yeah, he used to get into. I remember him like get penalties to ruffle me and like tip me around the head. I was like,
No, Borthas was a proper full-on.
Where does that come from?
I don't know.
Preston.
Yeah,
Who else did it? Who else did not? Granny Grewcock.
Well,
Danny Grewcock.
Yeah, but he was like he'd back it up.
Yeah.
No. He would fill you in, and then off the field, you'd be like, you cleared me out by my balls, and you almost killed me, and it really hurts, and I think you might have damaged me. And he'd be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I didn't realise.
Really?
Yeah.
I told you a story about when he stamped on my hand, he put a hole in my hand. so Danny, I'd moved from Bath to Gloucester. And I was at this ruck, and it was Borthas. Borthas had been an absolute bell end. So I got in and given a slight, in the days where you could give a slight uppercut, cleared him out, but with a follow through. Danny, and I've landed, and my hand's there, and Danny's running off. Play's gone that way, and he's running off, and it's taken him about 3 seconds. He's gone, I didn't like what he did then. So he's turned around, run back, stamped on my hand, put a hole through my hand. So I've had to go off, had stitches. I'm supposed to be going out with him and Tash for dinner that night, and staying at his house. And I've come back on the field, I've finished playing, and then the doctor says, you need to go to surgery and get your hand properly washed out. And so I said to Dan, why the fuck did you do that? He goes, yeah, you uppercut at Borthas, didn't you? I was like, yeah, but he was being a nose. I was like, well, I don't care. I was like, but I'm supposed to be going out for dinner with you. Well, we'll rearrange.
I love that.
It's just like, okay, Danny, thanks.
You should call him up for Minch next time you're going up against. That would solve a few problems.
Danny, just do me a favour, will you?
Fall back. But no, people do. Yeah, it's weird how some people just completely change. That's what I thought. I thought I'd never get on with Johnny Sexton. I thought I just thought when we got to tour, I'd never get on with him because he's a nightmare when you. But one of the loveliest blokes, and I find that very hard to understand how 1 minute you can run around and hit
Brownie's
someone.
like that though, isn't he?
Yeah,
Mike Brown.
yeah. Mike Brown's the same, but he's like the angriest man in the universe.
on
And
the
then
pitch.
off the field, is so quiet and humble and unassuming. And it's like, how do you do this?
Yeah. Do you want to lay claim to that, or you're going to stick angry man on the field?
I'm actually pretty nice off the field.
Fine.
I'm
I've got one last
bloke.
question. You said that obviously you didn't want to promote your company because you're not paid enough,
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
As a welder and a pipe fitter. Have you seen today that bloke who's driven that digger into front of that travel lodge and dismantled it because he didn't get paid his 600 quid? Are you mental enough to do something like that?
No, absolutely not. No,
Fine, because
No.
I want
You should
upset.
be actually. Are you an open side?
No, playing blindside now. Moved from the centre to blindside.
Yeah.
Boy, that is a full demotion, mate.
Yeah,
I never even qualified.
He's working his way to the front row.
You're a good man. And if you can chip in the next part, the last part of the show, it's all hands on deck because it's time for this week's Guinness Perfect Pour, our weekly test in 119.5 seconds, because that is how long it takes to
Pour a perfect pint of Guinness, which is actually going down real well.
It's going down really well.
It's good, isn't it?
I think they were happy to bring it halfway through the show because at least we've got some material that's usable.
Yeah, it's all going to kick off now.
We're going to kick off now.
Debacle.
Each week we normally set James a quiz, but it's been going progressively downhill since week one.
Bollocks. Absolutely not.
He's had one good week.
Chloe week was great.
Okay.
The other thing, the tractors thing was good.
Yeah, I mean,
It was when he
all these things are
asked
relative.
about Harry Potter and came up with the most obscure thing. Like, what make of shoes does Dumbledore wear?
How many stairways are in Hogwarts?
Overall, you've been so bad at quizzes. We're moving it on this week, and we're going to let you pick a 15.
Oh, God, this is so bad.
Have you done it or not?
You
better have done it.
No, listen, no.
Your challenge this week is to pick a
haven't.
superhero 15. 1 to 15.
This is on the
Who would
spot.
play in which position and why?
Where are we starting?
I think we should put this up on social media, and then people can
Yeah.
abuse you, correct you,
Yeah.
get involved,
Yeah.
pile in and say, "Thought you played for England."
Okay, I've got a few off the top of my head, which is
No, not off the top of your head.
No,
1 to 15, and we're going to
are we going-
analyse.
are we
Okay,
going-
okay.
We're going 1 to
Well, I was gonna
15,
say go.
15 to 1.
Okay,
1 to 15.
okay. So number 1 would be
Your loose headers.
Ram Man.
Oh, like where you've gone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I put Ramman at hooker. We've actually done our own.
All right, fine. Ram Man, because obviously that physicality. Hawkeye at hooker, because he's unbelievable
I had
accuracy.
Hawkeye.
Tins had Hawkeye too.
I put the Thing at the other prop.
Okay.
I had the thing on loose head.
Fine.
So
And
I
Hellboy
had
at tight head.
Juggernaut as my tight head. I
Yeah.
had the Hulk as my loose head.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna have Juggernaut at number 8.
Yeah.
I'm going to have, so put number 8 Juggernaut. I'd have Captain America at 6 and Captain.
Okay.
I'd have a Spider-Man at 7.
Interesting. I went Spider-Man at 9. You went Spider-Man at 15.
Never drops a high
I'd
ball,
have the
does
Silver Surfer at 9 because he can
Right, sorry.
offer-
We're going on.
Oh, no,
over the
so-
place.
so, yeah,
You
fine.
pick your team, and we'll critique
All right,
it.
yeah. I mean, so we've got Ram
Are you
Man,
second
Hawkeye,
row?
the Thing.
Second row?
Second rows. This is where I'm struggling a little bit. Stretch.
Yes, go.
Dr. Dickhead who can stretch.
Mr. Incredible.
Mr. Incredible.
Not Mr. Incredible. Mr. Invincible. What's he called in the?
I didn't know
his name.
cartoons were allowed.
No, it's the Fantastic Four. Isn't that Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You can probably
Yeah,
we said Mr. Incredible.
What's the
Stretch. I can't think what his name is. I can't think what his name is. But the Stretch dude because he can
Yeah.
reach for the ball.
The guy.
Then we had
Second row.
second row was the Hulk.
Oh, really?
That's a very curious choice.
I've gone.
Because he can jump real high. Have you not seen how high he jumps?
He
He
does
can jump
Lots
over
of people
buildings.
jump really high.
No, but he jumps extraordinarily high.
Some of them can fly.
That's cheating. You've got to at least start on the ground. Otherwise, we'll be having to play a game in the air, right?
Definite question.
Who did you go for?
Teacup
Captain-
and his big game temperament.
No, we're not. Clive Woodward's not picking it. It's the 15-point James Haskell plan.
Okay.
It's the.
Who,
So the Hulk
who
in the
did
second
you have
row.
the second row?
I went Captain America and Captain Fantastic. I thought that was a lovely combination.
yeah, I mean that's.
I went
because it's got
Thanos.
captains in the title.
Yes.
Actually, hold on a
I
minute.
went Thanos because he's 8 foot tall.
Yeah,
and then I went Groot because he's 23 foot tall.
23 foot tall, dominating the front of the line out.
I'll swap out. I will swap out Thanos for the Hulk. I'll put Captain America at 6 and Captain because I think he's got supreme leadership. I'll put the Hulk at number 8. I'll put Spider-Man at 7 because we'd be great over the
I went
ball.
Wolverine. No one is
Yeah.
going to get better.
No, Wolverine's my centres.
I've gone Wolverine
hands.
at
He's
6.
got freaking swords for hands.
He doesn't have them out all the time, does he? He catches the ball, but if someone like
Yeah, but in
Tins
the heat
comes-
of battle,
if he
the
turns
swords
up
will be
and
out.
goes, "Here, mate, you fucking," he'll put them blades straight through his head.
I want Wolverine playing on the
Yeah.
open side for
He'll
moves
whip
next
his lid
week.
straight off. That's why. So we've got Silver Surfer at 10. This is why I
Who's
struggled
your blind
a bit.
side?
We said Captain America.
Okay.
So,
We've got Spider-Man at 7.
I'll let you think.
Right,
So
I
who
went,
did you go back?
I went
row?
back row of Joker, like a Jean-Pierre Rive at 6, like that, bit manic.
Yeah.
Wolverine at 7, Thor at 8,
Yeah,
dominating the gain line.
I went Thor at 8, Wolverine at 7, and Iron Man at 6.
Iron Man's a strong shout.
I'm going to have Iron Man at 10.
I've gone Iron Man. Iron Man at 10?
Yeah.
That's like a sort of Henry Hannibal, sort of very
Yeah.
robust.
No. Wait. Because he's got that heads-up display, which he can see all the options in front of him, and he's got the Silver Surfer. Just you can't stop the Silver
actually put-
Surfer
he's actually
gliding
made
across
a,
the field. Right, you got Wolverine on the 10-12 thing. He'd have Minchamps' fucking face straight off in the bin. Here, do you want to buy some cheap plumbing? His lids come straight off. Right, he's gone. I would have.
Who's your 10?
We said. I just said.
Oh, you just said Iron Man,
Fucking
sorry.
hell, I feel like I've had a stroke here. I feel like I'm trapped in a Marvel
It's the
vortex.
Guinness. It's the Guinness that's working again.
I would have. I'd have Batman as the other centre.
So I had Batman at 15. Very good on high ball.
Channeling the back.
Yeah, just very
I had
robust.
Batman at 10. He's
So I went
got a
Superman
very
at 10.
useful utility belt. He knows all the tricks.
Yeah. okay. Well, I might have him at centre, outside centre, because he needs to link.
Okay.
We've got the Flash on the wing.
Yes, we've all done that.
We've got Superman on the other wing. Actually, Superman at fullback, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay.
Because he'll just, last line of defence, no one's getting through that.
Yeah, and then you've got another winger.
And then the winger, got to have a bird in there. I'd have Storm from the X-Men, because she just changed the weather at the last minute and control the whole thing. You've got to have a woman in there.
Good.
I went
Ticking
with Blink
boxes.
on the wing. She's a woman. But she,
Blink. She's a woman. Yeah. This is 2019.
she's a teleporter.
Ticking the PC boxes.
Pardon?
She's a teleporter, so she's tricky to
Yeah,
mark.
yeah.
Absolute nightmare in
Yeah,
defence to try
yeah.
to try and mark it up.
I've got it.
I went
fuck
Spider-Man
is she?
9, Superman 10, the Flash on one wing, Flash Gordon on the other.
I like that.
Yeah.
Flash Gordon would actually be quite good as a back row, because that, he played with the American football.
American
thing,
football,
yeah.
wasn't
I liked Iron Man at 12, dominating the gain line.
Yeah, fine.
Get you really good front foot ball with the Shadow at 13. Lovely outside break, very hard to keep.
Yeah, you don't
tabs
get
on.
out a lot, do you?
No.
I
I spent most of the week doing this.
Yeah, of course you have. I've literally done that off the top of my head in 3 seconds.
Batman at 15.
I went Loki at 9 because he has a good relationship with Thor. They know each other, obviously. Being
They hate
brothers.
each other, though.
Yeah, but they're brothers. They understand each other, and he's a sneaky, tricky god of lies and mischief. You need that at 9. Batman pulling the strings. Captain America was my 12th, defensive leader. Organised the back line. Superman at 13. The Flash at 14. Spider-Man never drops a high ball. Spider-Man at 15, and Blink on the other one.
Good. I think we'll take a sort of an amalgamation of that mess and form it into a 15, put it out on social media. You can tweet it out or Instagram it, whatever it is that you tend to
Again,
do.
showing how up with the times you are.
Yeah.
You can Insta Facebook, Instagram it. What? Can you?
My face and space book, or whatever they're called.
Can we get it on semaphore? Anyone on semaphore?
No, you cracked that last time again.
All right. Let's get it on Morse code for you then.
Good.
Beep,
We'll get-
beep, beep,
we'll-
beep,
yeah,
beep.
I'm sure
we'll get the pages
dot
out.
it out.
I'll send it out to the
Yeah,
pages.
good, clever reference even.
Restaurant.
Off we go. Wait.
This is like a magic
That's
nectar.
all it is. Reference, it's one of your relatives. That sounds like his actual name. Hello, references. Oh, my friend John references. That's what it sounds like. One of your mates.
We've told you we can only have half a Guinness.
I'm being told to
God.
rap before the thing falls apart. Are you happy, Joe? You
I'm
feel,
happy.
Have we made up here? Are we finishing on a high?
I didn't think there was anything to make up. I
Mutual-
completely forgot
Well,
about it.
let me put it this way.
wasn't.
You've
There was
handled
a
it
lot.
very well.
There was actually quite a lot to make up. I'm telling you now.
You
the
owe
anger
me
coming off him.
£10,000 worth of therapy bills.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
a
at least I
very
got a point out of it.
Exactly. You've come all the way
Don't
from
worry, that's £3.50.
Bristol for a free pint.
Yeah.
Do you know what the
You're
best
a
thing
good
is?
man.
The best thing is that this is the best thing about rugby.
We could be
is
on
that
the same train home.
We've
Yeah.
met up and you've had a beer and you've
Yeah, why
done
not?
it.
Yeah.
Built bridges, because he did drop the ball on that one. You should never storm off. You've always got, however big a bell end the guy is.
You're talking about
Exhibit A. No, you've got to make sure that you can shake
him in
your
the eye,
hand, look in the eye, and
shake
go. You know what? You got me today. You pulled my pants down, but till next time. Till I weld your hands to the football floor.
Till I use your own gear against you.
Yeah, exactly. Till my pipe fit you to the death.
A little bit of feel-good factor to close out this week's show. We're off to Dublin next week for the live show.
Yeah, I tried to get on that show, but you weren't willing to fly me over.
Budgets. we can do trains, not planes.
Yeah, I got my point, but I didn't get a flight to Dublin. So.
Tins, we're going to have a lot of fun with that. What are you doing?
Depends how this weekend goes, isn't it?
Yeah, see how this weekend goes.
Okay.
I won't be
You're
around.
not coming to Dublin.
No, I can't.
You got a week off.
Why are you talking about this stuff? You just worry about your shit.
Chloe
yeah?
wants to go on holiday.
Yeah.
That's
There's
what
some
it is.
late
Chloe said
night
you're not doing
workout Instagrams
It's
coming
just
up
still-
all
it's
next
just
week.
like Chloe.
Watch
It's
your
just I
space.
want to build the I don't want to give all the Irish everything in one go.
Yeah.
Because that would build the suspense.
Do you want to tell the nice people what Chloe's feedback was last week?
Yeah. Okay. So I did say last week on the show that when Alex saw Chloe, he went.
Which I didn't.
He did. He
No,
went.
well, Chloe said on the show that I didn't.
No, it happened though. He walked up and went, hello, right? And honestly, I was like a bit sick in my mouth. Chloe gets home and goes, I tell you what. And I was like, what, dear? She's going to say it's a fantastic show, very funny. She went, that Alex Payne is really, really good looking in real life. And I was like, oh! So I went outside to the garden and trapped my hand in a barbecue just to give it a sort of self-loathing.
Yeah.
She said,
Is she free to come to Dublin next week?
no, because she promised when you trim that beard off, you're going to go back to the naughty schoolboy that we all saw on Sky.
Good. Love to Chloe.
Yeah.
Have a lovely week off.
Yeah.
See you in Dublin next week. You're a very good man for coming on.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much indeed. All friends here. Always time to remind you to tune into some of Joe's other programming that you might have missed, including Unfiltered with James O'Brien and Boys Don't Cry with Russell Kane. Thanks once again to Joe, to Mike and to James. We're off to Dublin next week for our live show. It should be a lot of fun. Do tune in. And if you'd like tickets, actually, and you're in Dublin, go to joe.co.uk and follow the instructions. It's going to be at the Aviva.
I need to find my...
Bulletproof vest.
I was going to go for an outfit a disguise.
Yeah, you need to find your Marvel invisibility cloak.
Jesus, you're in for a lively one, actually.
Yeah, for all the
Well,
people
fuel
that
the
have felt like they've been aggrieved by what Mike Tindall has said, he's happy to front your questions. So please turn up and share your innermost thoughts with him.
Our special guest is Tad
Let's
Furlong.
talk Ireland. Let's get Tag out. Let's get Tag there.
Hold on tight, everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun. See you next week. Thank you so much for joining us, as always. Do leave us a review. Do leave us comments and feedback. And we'll see you in Dublin next week.
You've been watching the House of Rugby on Joe, together with Guinness. Drink responsibly. Visit drinkaware.co.uk for the facts.